Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now Anthony Joshua has kind of hinted that he might be working with Wladimir Klitschko and possibly Floyd Mayweather also. Now this is only a hint, but on his Snapchat story he put a picture of him and Klitschko in two pictures, one of them after their fight I would imagine in suits and one of them way before during a sparring session or just after a sparring session when AJ was brought over to Klitschko's camp in preparation for one of his fights to do some sparring. Now also later on he had a picture of himself with Wladimir Klitschko and Floyd Mayweather also side by side. The Floyd Mayweather one was after his win over Kubrat Pulev, and the other one was when he met up with Wladimir Klitschko a year on from their fight at Wembley in 2017. So clearly Anthony Joshua is taking wisdom from former fighters and the guys who were at the top a couple of years ago. I mean, Floyd Mayweather undefeated in 50 fights, and look at his resume. I mean, it's not just about being undefeated. I don't really look too much into a fighter who has that O. Personally, I think that being unmatched is more impressive than being undefeated. Anyone can be undefeated if they choose the right path, if they pick the right fighters to fight at the right time. But not everyone can be unmatched. Floyd Mayweather was one of those rare fighters who was unmatched and undefeated. That is the important thing. So his record is incredible, and any wisdom he can pass on to AJ, I'm guessing AJ would welcome that. Now of course, this is also around the time Anthony Joshua did face Wladimir Klitschko. It was around 29th of April 2017, just off the top of my head. I believe that was the date. And of course, he has remained in contact with Wladimir Klitschko because he admires him, and any advice he is willing to pass on, AJ is willing to accept that, just like Floyd Mayweather, and he's right to do so. If someone's going to give him advice who has been as successful as Wladimir Klitschko has, then he's going to take that advice. I mean, who wouldn't? Now of course, AJ did also touch on the fact that it was 4 years ago that he fought Klitschko, and it was in his 19th fight, when many of his rivals hadn't faced that level of opponent during that stage in their career. And it is true, AJ did come through quickly, but he became a world champion quickly also, and that wasn't necessarily planned. I believe that he could have had a few more fights. I mean, he would have wanted a few more fights, but the thing is, Charles Martin became IBF world champion based off of an injury sustained in a vacant world title fight, so he became a champion and ultimately called out Anthony Joshua to come over to the UK and fight him to defend his world title. So AJ just said, yeah, I'll take it, I'll take the chance. And I know that Charles Martin didn't turn out to be a world beater, but they didn't know that going in. So it was a challenge, it was a risk, but they took it in his 16th fight. And in his 19th fight, he was fighting Wladimir Klitschko in a unification fight. He even said in the build-up he never believed he would actually fight Wladimir Klitschko because he believed that Klitschko would be leaving the sport just as he was coming in. But still, he got the opportunity to face him, and he was able to win. He was victorious after an 11th round knockout victory, but that came with a lot of experience. That also came with highs and lows in the boxing ring. He probably learned more in those 11 rounds than he did over his entire career. That's what that does. That kind of experience in there with an elite level heavyweight. AJ was kind of lucky that he got to share the ring with Klitschko, but also he's shown what he is capable of, because in that 6th round, that was just incredible how he was able to get up, compose himself and continue. Many fighters would not be able to do that, to continue on after that point. And that's not just about being brave and showing heart. Part of it is, of course, to be able to continue after that. But it's not just that. It's showing that he didn't fall apart after that happened. I mean, he could have easily just gone to pieces, but he didn't. He composed himself, he took a round off here and there where he needed to, and he found a way back into the fight. And we all remember what happened in that 11th round. Now, he did say he's taking some advice from Wladimir Klitschko. He has become somewhat an advisor to AJ. So he is someone who constantly gives him phone calls, I think, and does contact AJ to give him advice here and there. I mean, he said in the build-up to Ruiz too, that the only one who doesn't come out publicly and say something but calls him and talks to him personally is Wladimir Klitschko. Other fighters say he should do this, he should do that, or trainers, coaches, ex-fighters, They say what Anthony Joshua should do publicly, but Wladimir Klitschko actually gets on the phone and talks to him personally to give him advice and advise him where he can, because Klitschko has experienced it all in the boxing ring, the ups and the downs, becoming 2-3-time world champion, unifying also, so he's seen it all. He has plenty of advice he can pass on to AJ, and AJ going into a fight with Tyson Fury next, or so we believe. There are also plenty of tricks of the trade he can pass on because he has shared the ring himself with Tyson Fury, losing over a 12-round unanimous decision to Tyson Fury. So perhaps Klitschko will give him some pointers on the things that work and don't work in the ring with Tyson Fury. Anyway guys, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, also leave a like and grab that subscribe button. Thanks guys.